This is Daniel in so many words.
Hey there, fellow Pokemon trainers. My name is Daniel, and in so many words, I don't really know how the educational system works in the Pokemon universe. Now, I've questioned several different aspects of the Pokemon universe in a few of my previous videos, but I figured since a lot of you are probably going back to school right now, my condolences, I figured this would be a pretty good time to delve into the school system of the Pokemon universe. Or the lack thereof. In many of the main series Pokemon games within the first couple of towns, you usually run into these buildings that are named something like Pokemon Trainer School, where, as the name would imply, they teach little kids the basics of being a Pokemon trainer. Now that's all well and good, but we don't ever really seem to see any real schools teaching real subjects. It's all Pokemon Trainer Schools, and all of the curriculum seems to be Pokemon oriented, which I guess makes sense in the sense of, oh, this is a video game and you need to learn about the basic gameplay mechanics. That's fine. But in the sense of looking at it from within the universe, it doesn't really seem to be an effective system of educating the youth unless you're going to tell me that literally every job within this universe has something to do with Pokemon. And the idea really doesn't seem that strange when you consider how many Pokemon-oriented jobs there already are. And I don't just mean the obvious ones like nurses, professors, and gym leaders, but I also mean things like cafe workers, theater producers, film directors, power plant employees, construction workers, and again, these Pokemon Trainer School teachers who all apparently have to have at least some rudimentary knowledge of Pokemon. But then what does that mean for the people who work the more menial jobs in the Pokemon universe? What about the people who work at the gas stations who fuel the cars and trucks? Or what about the people who wash dishes in the back of those fancy restaurants in Mumio City? Do they not have higher Pokemon education? Do they have to work those menial and probably low-paying jobs because they only have a Poke GED? And for that matter, if everyone in the Pokemon universe needs to go to these Pokemon Trainer Schools to be educated in such a way to prepare for their future Pokemon-oriented careers, why are you never in school in any of the games? In any of the main series Pokemon games that I've played, I've never seen one hint that your character has ever attended any kind of schooling, Pokemon-oriented or otherwise, and quite frankly, I'm pretty sure that every single one of those characters' first experiences with Pokemon was with the starters that they get in the beginning of their respective games. And so, instead of being sent off to a trainer school where they can properly learn to handle this super-powered animal that they've just been entrusted with, they're just thrust out into the wild and left to sink or swim on their own. And who the fuck cares if they even come back alive? Certainly the parents don't, because they're cool with it. Goodbye, pre-adolescent child who's just been given a super-powered animal and sent to complete a Pokedex. I hope you don't die before you reach puberty. And this last part I want to bring up is sort of a tangent, I know, but I think it's still worth mentioning because it is relevant. I was playing Pokemon Stadium again recently, and I was playing the Clefairy Says minigame, where you have to follow the choreography of what is clearly meant to be a teacher Clefairy who for some reason has been entrusted with teaching a class. And then I kind of just thought to myself for a second, okay, we have humans teaching humans about Pokemon related subjects. So what if we turn that on its head and then we had Pokemon trying to teach humans about human subjects? Miss Clefairy, ma'am, what exactly does this have to do with the history of feudal Japan? Ow! Ah, God, sorry, never mind. Okay, what was it? Up, down, left, right? Ow! God! You know, I really don't understand how the Pokemon educational system works, but I think I understand that even less. Says the guy who wrote the cutaway. So, do any of you have any theories as to how the Pokemon school system works? Let me know in the comments below. But until we meet again, insert catchphrase here. Da 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 da.